Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is going to be another top 50 list. It's a little different than my previous top 50 list, which I recommend you check out. I'll link it in the description. My previous list was a top most expensive comics in my collection. And this video is different because it's my top 50 favorite comics that weren't in the previous list. My previous list had many of my favorite comics, like my first Wonder Woman is kind of major to me, and it is one of my favorite comics. So, this is my way of getting more comics on the list without having to make, without having to figure out which comics should be there and which ones shouldn't be. So this is my favorite 50 that weren't on the previous list. So many of these are really great books. These are ones I truly love. Like, I pretty much love all my comics, but this one is going to be a good video, I hope. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a lot more about each of the comics and reason why I love them so much. And I'm going to break this up into 5 parts. So each part is like a series of 10. So this first video will be my first 10 comics of the top 50. And then I'll have 4 more videos after this. So this is part 1. But just because I say that there's 10 books doesn't mean there really are 10 books. There's actually going to be more than 10. And I'll show you what I mean. So with that being said, I'm going to tell you about my very number 50 on my list is Astro Boy, number 1. And the reason this is on my list is this one I saw on my comic store, wall for like the longest time, like going back 20 years. And, I've moved from that comic shop like a long time ago. That shop's no longer in existence. But I always saw it on the wall. And at the time, Astro Boy, there was a movie. It was kind of popular. And it was a pretty expensive book out of my price range. Like my price range was maybe $10, $20 for a comic. This was like $100 to $200 comic. So it was just out of my price range. So I saw it recently on my comic shop, and I was like, hey, I got to get it. So, and it was the same price as way back then. So, for $100, I thought it was a pretty good deal. So this is number 50 on my list. So the next one is another great book. I'm going to take it out of the bag. Is this one. So this is number 49 on my list, and it's on my list for a few reasons. One is it's a signed copy. It's actually my first signature comic that I got. That's like a gold label. I have other signed copies, but this is my first gold label. And it's signed by Neal Adams, who is an artist I really, really like. So to get a gold label signed by Neal Adams is kind of cool. And with all that said, it's also a key issue. It's the first appearance of John Stewart, and it's the second appearance of Hal Jordan. Guy Gardner, sorry. Guy Gardner. And it's it's cool for so many reasons. So with all that being said, that's kind of the reason why I like this book. There's actually other Green Lanterns that I would kind of like as well that I could have maybe put on the list, but because it's a gold label, that was the kind of thing that was kind of cool. Like, it was my first gold label, kind of special in that respect, and it's an artist that I really, really like. So I'm not sure what you guys think. Please comment below. What do you like Neal Adams' work? This is not, in my opinion, one of his better works, to tell you the truth. There's a few others that I almost want to pull out and show you that I have of his that I think are better. But this is just sort of a key issue, and it's cool to have his signature. So with that being said, that's my number 49. Now my number 50, I'm going to have to remove it, is a Walking Dead one. And I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. The first few seasons. I didn't like the later seasons, but I did like the first few seasons. And one of the characters that I actually liked the most was Michonne. I just liked her. She was kind of badass, and with her katana, and just really awesome looking. And I liked the fact that when she first appeared, she had these two zombie walkers with no arms. And they turned out that they were connected to her in the past. They were actually her boyfriend, I think, and her brother or something like that. So it's kind of interesting that she has these two pet walkers, and this is just such a great cover that kind of captures that moment in the TV series. So I really was really happy to get this. This was actually my first Walking Dead that I bought. So it was kind of like a really major key. I really wanted this one. I wanted this one and the number one, but the number one appeared on my other top 50 list. So this is on my second top 50 list, and it's just a really great comic that I really love. So number 48. Number 47. I'm going to have a whole bunch of bags there. Is this one. And this would actually be higher on my list if it wasn't for the fact that the character that I like, and the reason I like this book, doesn't appear on the cover. Like, actually, I think she appears maybe on the back. That's maybe her there. But this is the first appearance of Dejah Thoris. And I really like the character. You know, she's kind of like one of those sexy characters from the John Carter series. And I thought she was always an awesome character. And this is her first appearance from 1952. And this is Dell 4-color 357. 375, I should say. 375. So yeah, so it's a really great comic. It would have been higher on my list if she was on the cover and if it was, sort of a better cover. But it is one that I like. I always like this kind of 50s style art. I think there's something kind of interesting about it for me. So this is definitely in my top 50 list. So this is number 47. So yeah, so next, it's kind of a newer one. So it's not all Golden Age stuff. There is some newer ones that I like, and I just like it because of the cover. This is the first appearance of Elsa Bloodstone, and it's Bloodstone number 1. I heard that this book is getting quite hot. I just liked the cover. I just thought it was a really brilliant cover. I'm not sure if you can see how awesome it is. So I'm trying to angle it so you don't see so much reflection. But it's just a really great cover. Just really shows really, really well. It's just a great cover. So I know that's not a major reason to get it. I think it is a cool character, but I'm more into the cover. I just think it kind of reminds me of that, even though I think it's from 2001, but it actually reminds me of the 80s kind of horror, B-movie kind of style. And I really liked 80s horror B-movies. So it kind of reminds me of that. And maybe that's why I like it a lot. So this is number 46 on my list. Next is another interesting one, modern comic. And this is The Bride of Venom. And this is just, to me, a very sexy cover. I like Venom as a character. I like the movie. And I just really think that this is such a sexy cover. Just looks really cool. It's like this venomized bride of Venom. And it's her first appearance, I believe. But it's just a really great cover from 1995. So this is Venom Sinner Takes All number 3. So this is just a really great cover. And that's the reason it's on the list. And then the next one is another signed one. Another signed copy. This is an Archie. And I like good girl art. And this is kind of that good girl art meets zombies. So two genres I really like. I like zombie stuff. I already had a Walking Dead. So this is kind of in that same genre of, zombieized Riverdale people like Archie and Jughead and Betty there as well, I think. Is that Betty or Veronica? So it's just a really great cover. And it's signed as well, so that kind of makes it cool to have that gold label. It's signed by the artist, the cover artist, and the interior artist, I believe. So it's just a really great cover. Nice, good girl art. So if you can see that. And I just, I really like it. It's one that I usually have in my office when I'm working. I can see it right there. So it's one that I have usually with me. So it's kind of a special comic to me. I just really like it. I just like the art of it. And I like the green and the way the yellow appears too. It's just a really beautiful cover. So that's that one. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting. So, as I said, there might be more comics than 10 on this list, but I'll show you what I mean by that. This is another comic that I really like, Tarot. And I could have picked a different issue because there's actually covers that I like from Tarot that are better than this, but this is Tarot number 1. And I actually liked it so much that I have both versions of it. So this is the A and B cover. And I just really like Tarot for the art. The story is usually kind of very little story, but it's kind of funny more than anything. But I really like it. I actually order these direct from the artist generally, because I like supporting the artists directly. So yeah, I'm really a big fan of Tarot. I have almost the complete series. I think I'm missing maybe only 5 issues, and there's over 100 it's 120 some odd now. So yeah, so I'm a big fan of Tarot, and Tarot's on my list. So that's what I was saying. Like, it's more than just one comic for each of these sometimes. The next one actually has a lot of comics that I have to show. And it's kind of weird, these ones. So this is another character that I really like. And it's one that I'm searching for her first appearance. I'm trying to get the first appearance of this one. And it's Zombie Tramp. This is Zombie Tramp number 1 from volume 3. So there's 3 volumes. This is the most recent volume. And I think they're up to in the 80s now for the series. And this is like a variant issue. It's kind of like Americana. And this is on my list. This is one of my favorite characters / comics. I really like collecting Zombie Tramp. Now, I do have her second appearance. I have to show that. One sec here. And that's Zombie Tramp number 2. This is a very rare comic. Very hard to find this one. I've only seen it offered once, and I bought it instantly because it's just so rare. And actually, the guy was being really nice. He gave me a pretty good deal on it because it's so rare that you can pretty much ask whatever price you want because it's just that rare of a comic. So, and then I got the volume 2 number 1. So this is, and it's also signed by Dan Mendoza, which is the creator of Zombie Tramp. So this is, and you can see even this one, $250. So I got a better price than that. I actually negotiated on it, but this is Zombie Tramp number 1 volume from volume 2. That number 2 that I showed was from volume 1. It's the second Zombie Tramp. And then just to show you some more covers from Zombie Tramp. I'm a big fan of Zombie Tramp. I know it's weird, but this is Zombie Tramp number 1, $666 is the price on it. It's kind of funny. And just some more Zombie Tramp I just wanted to show. Here's another one. This is Free Comic Book Day. This is really rare, really hard to find. So I'm a big fan of Zombie Tramp. And this is the number 50 issue. And I'm just going to show you a bunch of Zombie Tramps. It's kind of weird. So this is Zombie Tramp volume 1. But this is the Phantom variant. It's just a really rare variant. And then we have the hologram ones. So these are kind of cool. And then another hologram one. So kind of cool. I like these ones a lot. These are quite kind of cool. I always like these hologram things. I was a big collector in the 90s, so you know, collected a lot of those, you know, foil covers and stuff like that from the 90s. Now the last one, number 41 on my list. So is actually kind of an interesting one. Now it's a character plus a comic. The character is Red Sonja, and this is her first cameo appearance. I really like that. That is her first cameo appearance. And this is her first appearance. So, you know, Red Sonja number 20, Conan the Barbarian number 24. So the other one was number 23. So this is her first cameo, first full. And now this is her first, like, series title, Red Sonja. So I really like that one, number 1. And then this is her first ongoing series, if that makes any sense. So, and this is Red Sonja number 1. And I like this style armor better. I kind of like the more the sexy chain link cover. So I really like Red Sonja. And strangely, this is like a $2 comic, but this is actually my favorite. I know there's something about it. I like the cartoony style of it. This Red Sonja is just one of my favorite cover from Red Sonja. I don't know why. Something about it just really appeals to me, and I think it's really great. So that's it. That was my first top, the top 40 to 50 range of my top list, and that's part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 and so forth. And the comics are getting hotter as they go up and cooler. So I hope you stay tuned, watch those videos. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye.